In this episode, we're going to look at the higher brain, or as we like to call it, the ZiZo brain. So you want to own your own car? Why not follow this young man's example and build your own with whatever is available? Frustrated to find parking? Make a plan. Whether you want to hover around on your own or create a flying machine for you and your family, you can do it. And if these homemade machines don't address your transportation needs, build a car that can fly. The fact of the matter is that if you develop your higher brain, you can do all this and more, much more.
The higher brain has got the 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional, and actually infinity potential. So the 2-dimensional side we call the Z brain, the Z intelligences. And the Z stands for zoom in, analyze in order to make sense of the world, analyze to see what is the problem, to make sense of the world. But the Z brain deals with tasks. Those are the intelligences, those are the tools that deal with tasks. So let's look at how task performance works. When you do a task, you do it step by step. So that's why we call it the step by step, structured, sequential, sorting the colors from each other, segregate certain things so that you work with a little component at a time. So look at statistical things, look at safety and security, listening to the semantics of things, looking at symbols, because you look at a symbol like a Nike and then you know, oh, that's good quality. So the symbol gives me security so that I feel safe. And then it actually has got other things like scrutiny and skeptical, which can be paranoid, because that side zooms in. It can become suspicious. It needs to have good structured things and referencing to norms and standards. And that is the important part of what that side of the brain does. And in order to get to a task completion point, so your Z side of your brain deals with tasks. It is your tools, your intelligences that deal with getting a task done in the right sequence, with the right tools and standards and norms to the right task completion point. It is critical tools that you need if you want to get a task done or anything done in terms of task-related matters. And now the ZO brain, the bigger picture brain, the 3- and 4-dimensional brain. It's got infinity potential. The sky is the limit in terms of the innovation and solutions and possibilities that one can see when you've got a zoom-out ability brain.
Such a person was George Washington Carver, popularly known as the Plant Doctor. He was not born a slave, but he was born into slavery. He lived with his previous owners, Moses and Susan Carver. As a weak and chronically sick child, he often helped Susan with chores around the house and was allowed the liberty to play and explore hobbies such as fishing and gardening. Although his early desire to obtain education was often denied, he eventually graduated from high school, but his life was lonely, filled with poverty, cruelty, and prejudice. Because of someone's Z-brain that sorts color and segregates, Carver was turned away by the Kansas University because of his race. He did manage to save enough money to study art at the Simpsons College in Iowa. Out of the 300 attending, he was the only black student, and he was welcomed. His teacher was so impressed with his ability to work with plants that he encouraged him to major in horticulture. In 1894, Carver became the first black student at Iowa State Agricultural College, where he obtained his bachelor's and master's degrees. In 1896, Carver left Iowa to head to the Department of Agriculture at the Tuskegee Normal and Industrial Institute. At Tuskegee, George decided on his purpose in life. He was going to help a former slave population become self-efficient through farming. Carver helped resuscitate the region's agriculture. In the process, he became one of the most respected and influential scientists in the country. Henry Ford and Carver began corresponding via letter in 1934. Like Carver, Ford was deeply interested in the regenerative properties of soil. He and Ford experimented with different crops, eventually devising a way to make the rubber substitute from goldenrod, a plant weed. Carver died in January 1943. Born into slavery, but dying a respected and influential scientist. All because George Washington Carver did not enslave his mind, but freed his potential by developing his brain.
They always talk about human potential is just unlimited. The sky is the limit, but it's all got to do with the ability to go into your ZiZo side of the brain. Now the ZiZo side of the brain is your zoom out side. It is your bigger picture side of your intelligences. Now what are they? Let's look at them. We call them the k. So it's got to do with community, compassion, caring, all the things that deal with empathy and relational things. Emotional and relational intelligences lie in the ZiZo side. Then the ZiZo side also deals with creativity. Creativity, in other words, innovation, coming up with ideas and solutions, because the Z side deals more with analyzing the problem. The ZiZo side deals with synthesizing. Synthesizing is the ability to see different patterns and to connect them and form something new. That is the creative process or the innovative process, to be able to synthesize. So it's the creative ability, it's the collectiveness of things. In other words, it's got to do with human things. Whereas the Z side dealt with tasks, this side deals with man, the human, the love things, the things that deal with compassion and empathy and caring for things, caring for nature, caring for animals, caring for children, that side that can develop from conditional love to unconditional love, which is the highest intelligence you get is unconditional love. So that side also deals with your spiritual side. So that side can plug into the abstract, the supernatural, the unknown. It can go into the cosmos. It can go into the quantum physics of things. Whereas the Z side deals with the here, in the now, and time, light, and matter, tangible things, material things. This side can deal with abstract and supernatural, non-material things, and can get into the imaginative things, the visions of things. And also, when it comes to the feelings and the emotions, those things are abstract. But if you don't develop that side of your brain, you won't have the ability to have empathy and then end up being a sociopath or a psychopath. So if your Z and your ZiZo works collectively, simultaneously, and they are equally developed and strong, the Z deals with doing the thing right according to norms and standards, dealing with time, matter, and light. And your ZiZo deals with human, emotional, relational intelligence, spiritual intelligence, innovation, entrepreneurialism, community, everything to do with the human. And for the ZiZo, you would say doing the right thing. So doing the thing right, doing the right thing creates integration between your different dimensions. And when you have integration between Z and ZiZo, you are having an integration in your thinking and your reasoning, and that brings you to integrity. Now, integrity is truth. Integrity is the ability to make the right, wise choices, because all the intelligence in your brain is working collectively. It's working. It's alive, it's conscious. So then you can trust a human when both their Z and their ZiZo works. And when their primitive brain, which is the lower brain, is not in charge of their lives. The whole trick about getting to optimum human or being a whole brain human is to have a strong Z and a strong ZO, and then the ZO taking over and getting even stronger, because then you are moving out of your carnal, egocentric self, and you're becoming a person who is innovative. You are actually able, doesn't matter what happens to you, to find solutions, to love people, to have relational and networks and things, and to become a sustainable, well-being human being.
We're all on a journey of development, and in the next episode, we will delve into the A2B levels of responsiveness, focusing on the A levels.